Understanding the man you miss from the one you have lost. This is the Breakup Clinic. Hello, my name is Chengi. I am your dating and relationship expert here at the Black Swan Relationship Academy, where we teach you ladies how to present as a high value, high status, high worth woman that men find completely irresistible. If that is you, say amen. Make sure you subscribe, like, and share this video so that we can continue to share the good news of the Black Swan Nation. Okie dokie, ladies, let us get into this. This video is for those of you who are going through a breakup, who are still recovering from a breakup. Breakups are perhaps one of the most painful realities that we have to go through, whether it's a breakup from a man that you have been dating for forever, a divorce from a marriage, whether it is a guy that you had a very special one night with and you shared and you met and your souls met and now poof, he's gone. It doesn't really matter what you're breaking up for, as long as there was ever a connection that felt real, even if it was to you. You are going to be going through a lot of pain, and you're going to be going through a lot of confusion, and your head is going to be going crazy, and your heart is going to be going crazy, and you're going to be feeling so many emotions all at the same time. And bearing in mind that our brains don't actually just distinguish between physical pain and emotional pain. It's the same pain sensors in our brain that light up when we are in pain. So it is a no less valuable, no less real when we're going through, emotional pain in our relationships and in our lives. I actually believe that relationship pain is perhaps the hardest pain, the most difficult pain to overcome, because we are really made for and hardwired for connection. And this is how God made us, and this is so, and the romantic love is a different kind of love from every other kind of love. It is so deeply intimate. It is so deeply connected to the essence of our being in ways that all other relationships don't quite meet. And it is the only relationship where we would be sexually intimate with somebody. So as much as we love our friends, as much as we love our parents and our family, chances are we will not be jumping into bed with them. And so that level of intimacy between a man and a woman takes the relationship to a whole different level. And so as we explore this time, I want you to know how much I care about you, how much I am in tune with your pain. I see you, I hear you, and we're going to be really doing a lot of work around this, because dating in the 21st century requires that we really get a grip and we get a handle on how to manage disappointment and this kind of breakup pain. Because if we avoid the breakup pain, then we're going to end up staying in relationships longer than we should, entertaining things we've got no business entertaining, and really sabotaging ourselves and abandoning ourselves, because we would rather avoid a breakup than actually just have the tools, the skills, the mindset to go through it. Now, does that mean it won't hurt? No, but we can take the edge off. We can take the edge off, and we can learn to move forward in a way that is healthy and ultimately allows that breakup to become our best and greatest teacher in life. I actually have a love-hate relationship with breakups. I adore breakups for one reason only. They often, if we respond to them correctly, give us the best lessons about ourselves and about men that we couldn't have read in a book. And even if we had read in a book, we hadn't quite learned that lesson. Breakups really drive us to become the better part of ourselves. And when a woman goes through a breakup and she comes to the Black Swan Relationship Academy, I am throwing a party on the inside of me, because I know that whoever broke her heart was responsible for her making this move, was responsible for her taking the step that she needed to take. And because I know that the breakups in my life were really the ones that set me on a journey to becoming a Black Swan, that set me on a journey to figuring out what I was doing wrong and how I could live a better life. And in my pursuit of really coming to terms and trying to heal from a breakup, I became and evolved from, you know, this ugly duckling into this black swan. And that was because of pain. So I have a respect for pain, but I also know that if it lasts too long and it goes unresolved and we're confused, pain can easily become suffering. And suffering is not something that is healthy for us and for our nervous system to stay in a constant state of survival and constant state of fear and instability, and is certainly not going to keep us in our divine feminine energy. And so today I really wanted to touch on some of the pain. I'm going to be creating a course in the Academy, the Breakup Clinic, and we're going to be introducing a breakup coach this year to you so that we can really support each other and support you as you go through breakups, which will be part of the dating world in the 21st century. So we will definitely be excited to have this young lady joining the team to support us. And this course I'm really looking forward to creating for you. Part of the issues that we are facing is that often when we experience a breakup, especially in the dating phase of the relationship, we really feel like we're losing the love of our lives and our future and our hopes, but much of that is not really what was there. Here's what happens to our brains when we really like someone, when we are really invested in somebody, when our body likes that man, and you know, when we have this spark and this amazing connection, we confer the dream we have of always had in our heads onto them. We start to see them as our husband. We start to confer kindness and thoughtfulness and gentleness and honesty and all of these amazing virtues onto this man, because we actually have a crush. We actually have this, you know, neurological and this chemical situation going, hormonal situation going on in our bodies, and we need him. We literally need him to be the man of our dreams. And so we project our desires onto him, and he now, even when he is disappointing us, even when he is not showing up, even when he is behaving in ways that speak nothing of the virtues. Oh, he's so kind and he's so gentle and so lovely. Baby, that is your desire for your husband. But because it's been a while since you've connected with anybody, you're now projecting these things. And often these are the things that we are actually grieving. Because when we strip back what we thought, the illusion, the projection, when we turn off the projection, you know, I remember when we were in school and movies were all about the projector on a white wall, and, you know, there was nothing but a white wall. And so, you know, I'm giving away my age now, aren't I? You know, but when the projector is turned off, that everything that was happening on the wall wasn't coming from the wall. It wasn't coming from the wall, because the wall is just blank and it's just white. Everything that was coming from the wall was coming from the projector, okay? And then when the movie was over, the projector would be switched off and the wall would go back to being plain. A lot of the men that we're projecting, a lot of these people and these men that we're crying over and weeping over and screaming over and talking to our friends and just feeling like our world is falling apart. If we can turn off the projection and say, okay, this is what I desire in a mate, and write it all down in a notebook. This is what I desire of a mate. This is my ideal relationship with a guy. And this is what Johnny, Simon, Peter, Paul was actually bringing. He was actually always late. He was actually inconsistent. He was actually hot and cold, on and off. He was actually distant most of the time. You know, he was actually very difficult to love and have in my life. He was actually lying for the most part of it. So this is the reality of what I am losing. I am not losing the dream. The dream can stay. The good, kind man that is thoughtful, and you go on holidays together and you plan on getting married and all of these things, that guy exists. That guy and that dream is valid. We need to be able to separate that what we are missing is the dream. We had fallen in love with the projection. We'd fallen in love with the dream. It's the dream we miss. It's because we thought that the dream was attached to this person. We thought that my future happiness was attached to this human being. And now that he's left, what does that say about my dream? We're devastated in breakups because we're really looking at a shattered dream. But the dream doesn't have to die. It doesn't have to shatter. The face of the person that we had attached to the dream, that can move and grow. That can change. That can change in so many ways, but the dream can stay. And so we start to miss the state of dreaming that we were perpetually in whilst we're in a relationship with this guy. We miss the projection, and we miss the comfort and the hormonal chemistry and the dopamine and all of the good and the adrenaline, all of this cocktail of hormones that would happen when we're dreaming and there was an actual person and we believe that this thing is real. And so now we're going to have to detox. We're going to have to come off the internal drugs that we were creating within our body, and that is maybe very painful because it's like going through withdrawal, especially if we had a very strong connection to this person. But your ability to compartmentalize the truth and really sit down with yourself and say, okay, this was a projection, this is what I've always wanted. It was a long time before I met somebody who was anywhere close, and he just didn't fit the bill, but I kept it going. I kept believing, hoping, fantasizing, because I was more fixated on the projection. What I have actually lost, and I want you to do another list on the other side and say, look, what have I actually lost? I have lost a liar. I have lost an inconsistent person. I have lost a person who's incapable of making me feel safe. I have lost somebody who was only going to rob me of my self-esteem and self-worth. That is what I have lost. Not true love, not great love, but these qualities, these things, these awful things are what I have lost. I have lost, every opportunity to lose my mind. This person was making me lose my mind. I was having to be a private detective. I was having to go on my phone to see who he's talking to. I was having to stalk him. I was becoming somebody that I didn't want to be. The third part of your exercise in this breakup clinic is, who was I becoming? Now, it's a little bit tricky, because who I was becoming sometimes can come across like, what was I feeling? I want you to write what you were feeling in the relationship, the elation, the happiness maybe that you felt in the initial stages, or now and again you felt love, now and again you felt heard, now and again you felt understood. I want you to write those feelings down. Then secondly, what you're going to do is write down who you were actually becoming. You were actually becoming a woman that was insecure. You were actually becoming a woman who didn't know who she was from day to day. You were actually becoming pitiful. You were actually becoming sad. And you were distancing yourself from your friends. You were becoming the woman that people didn't understand anymore, and you had left yourself. You'd abandoned yourself. You lost yourself in the relationship. When you can actually see the two columns, the dream, right, on the left, this is the dream, column 1, and under column 1, the good feelings you felt that were valid and wonderful and almost addictive. And then on the other side, the truth about what you did lose, his actual behavior, his stuff in stats on paper. It's like, when you sack somebody and you look on paper and, you're looking at it on paper and you're thinking, okay, he hasn't been to work on time for like 4 days. He's called in sick 5 times a day. So he might feel like one of our best members of staff, but actually his performance is really bad. That's what I want you to kind of look at it like, okay, he looks this way, he is this way. And, this is what I felt, the good moments that I felt, rarely, once in a while, but these are the things I genuinely felt, because we need to validate those emotions. And then on the other side, we need to talk about really you know, how, you know, who we were becoming in general, were we losing ourselves. Once we have that chart, we will have a greater idea of how to proceed and move forward. Once you can see that this side, the right side, has really very few redeeming qualities, then it's really going to help you to let go, to get into the practices of letting go. And this is stuff that we're going to be talking about in the Black Swan Nation, where we'll be coaching you and helping you through these very difficult times. But if you look at the right side, and you see that he was consistent, he was loving, he was giving, he was high value, he showed up on time all the time, was never bad to you, he was a great guy, and when you were with him, you were the best version of yourself, then I haven't left you out in the cold. You can do the Reattraction Masterclass. You can purchase it off, you can download it off the Academy, or you can join the Black Swan Nation. Details are all below about all the other stuff you will get, and you will also get access to all of the other courses, because often it's not just one item that needs to be fixed. So once you do the Reattraction Masterclass and get your ex back, and then you can do the Attraction Masterclass to keep him back, and the Feminine Mastery class, and how to talk to a man, and you can really equip yourself. So if you look at the right side and you realize that you definitely lost a good thing, it's not just what you missed, it's not just a projection, he really did perform, then of course there's always a way that you can get your ex back, and we are here to help you at the Academy. I really hope that this video was helpful. I look forward to seeing you in my next one, and in the meantime, take care of you. Love you lots. Bye bye now.